Hello, randos, and welcome to another episode of Random Tables. My name is Michael. I am your solo player and host, and I am joined today by the rascal of Twitter and Twitch. I've heard Mr. Drew, Mr. Mudcat, Mr. Arbiter, I believe.
In some circles, yes, absolutely.
Please tell everybody about yourself and where they can find you and all that jazz.
Sure. I am Mudcat, longtime streamer. You can find me over on twitch.tv/Mudcat or Mudcat TV on socials. But more importantly, I am a co-creator and co-DM of D20 Deathmatch. So if you want to come over and watch some crazy WWE celebrity deathmatch style PvP tabletop, come over to D20 Deathmatch on everything social media wise.
That's right. At Part-Time Heroes, we love innovation, and that is definitely innovative. You don't see a lot of PvP out there, so everybody's got to go check them out. They are fantastic. I will be playing Durian Greyhawk, the Battle Bard. He is traveling the Shattered Isles, and he has been sent on a quest that has led him into this dark shadow realm where he is searching for the heart of a dying world, which I believe this is the heart of that dying world. I have just run through this shadowy castle, and I've unlocked the box, and there was a blackout. So I don't know what's going to happen next. And I sure hope Drew does. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to pass it over to him, and I'm just going to enjoy the ride.
We'll find out if I know. All right. As Durian is running, to back up a little bit, as running through this shadow castle being chased by, I believe they were shadow wolves, hounds, maybe, if you will,
Sure.
through the corridors and up the stairs and around, entering a room full of light and color, decidedly different from the rest of this castle. The wolves, kept at bay, unwilling to enter into this lighted space. You take out that orb that transforms into a key as you approach this box. Tell me what this box looks like. What do you notice about this box as you're unlocking it?
Sure. This box is like an old, like dark red wood, like a mahogany or a cherry. It's like a deep dark color. It's antique, but it's very pristine. And it is inlaid with all of these gold trims that like form around the edge in patterns that look like tree branches, perhaps. And the lock has magically appeared on the top of the box instead of in the front of the box.
Yeah, that the details of that box are kind of lit up by the light of this room, kind of glinting off the gold and shining off, and just it just looks perfect in this room, matching the other decor and just everything being so vibrant, especially coming from that shadowy hallway. Everything, it just seems so colorful, so saturated. And as you turn that key, the orb, the key itself, begins to dissolve into sand. And the box is now unlocked, but the key has deteriorated.
Is there a reaction from the dogs or from the manservant standing in the doorway?
As they have chased you to this doorway, that blinding light stops them. And as you enter in and approach that box and turn the key, you look back to the door, looking over your shoulder, and you notice that they have receded. The servant, the dogs, nowhere to be seen now, faded back into the shadows, not only unwilling to come to this room, but unwilling to even look upon the light at this point.
So, Rascally Rick, my rat friend who sent me on this quest, he specifically asked for the box. That's all he's asked for. Yet, as a bard, seeking secrets or seeking truths in a world of secrets, I am totally drawn to finding out what the heart of a dying world looks like. And against my better judgment, I think I'm going to lift the lid of the box slowly.
Perfect. As you do lift that box, the lid, it comes up with ease. It's a very well made box, but as you stare deep into its abyss, it's like looking into the creation of the universe. It's the most beautiful sight you've ever beheld in your entire life. There's nebulas, stars, black holes, stars forming, living and dying and exploding. And the longer you look, the more entranced you become, the more you lose your sense of self as you begin to float, almost feeling weightless in this astral plane as you look upon the stars and the celestial bodies.
What wonders, what truths can be found within this tiny box? And again, being drawn and pulled in, I am slowly going to reach my hand out into the box itself, into this swirling abyss.
Okay, yeah, as you reach in to touch it, that feeling, that overwhelming feeling of this, it's almost bliss as you reach into it, just washes over your body, just this euphoria and that knowledge you're seeking, that information, those secrets. You can feel all of them. You can sense everything, as if you are existing at this point outside of time, outside of reality, experiencing everything that has ever been, everything that will ever be in a single moment, looking on as a third party perspective, but also experiencing it in the first person as well, all simultaneously as you float here through this astral space, and your thoughts just drift off to your most desired areas of study, of interest.
I see where you're going here. um, I my mind is connected to everything. My senses are just like overwhelmed, and the first thing that comes to my mind is the orb in the citadel known as the Infinite City. It's this big glowing orange orb that sits atop the Shatterwalkers Guild, which I am now a part of, which allows me travel through the Shattered Realms at will, very easily, finding these doorways. But there's something about it, the questions behind it, why it's there, why the Infinite City exists and everything points to it, and why everything points, in my mind, to this giant orb of some magical existence.
As you ponder this question about the Infinite City and the orb, you hear it's almost a whisper in your mind, and your mind flashes to the key that you would use to open the box was once an orb. And this orb in the Infinite City, you just hear your own voice even whispering to you, echoing through this infinity, that it's the key, it's the key, it's the key,
it's the key, it's the key, it's the key. And if I'm able to, I would like to come back to my senses, or like pull myself with my sheer willpower back into my own body once again.
Make me a d20 roll.
Hey,
There it is.
there it is. Oh, that's a 10.
That's a 10.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, tough
So-
choice. you sense, okay, at this moment, you sense that you're close to some sort of meaningful connection to this astral spiritual realm. You feel there's something else here for you. You feel it deep inside with every fiber of your being. But at the same time, you begin to feel at your back a certain amount of dread as you look back and almost looking outside through as if you're inside the box now, as the light in the room is beginning to fade just slightly. You're not physically here. This is a mental projection.
Okay.
So it's more of a just pulling yourself back to reality as you stare into this box,
Okay.
as your
So
consciousness has been projected.
sure. So I know that I am about to be in a fight, or I assume this is what's happening. So I take my loot axe off my back, and I begin to strum it, and the magic swirls around the axe itself, and begins to swirl around my body, creating this like glowing force field around myself, and I'm casting shield, which is basically just going to give me 3 extra hit points to kind of tank some blows that I might be taking. So
Okay, so you're willingly choosing to leave this place then. Leave this
yes.
projection. Okay. But you're choosing to come out of that as part of that 10 forfeiting this extra knowledge that you might have, or this extra connection to something that you were feeling. And as your consciousness pulls back to your own body, back to the reality, you suddenly feel small and insignificant, and many of the secrets, many of the knowledge, the feeling that you were looking through time begins to fade as if it was a dream. You begin to lose, you almost can grasp it. You almost can remember. You're able to hang on to the information about the key and the infinite city, but everything else, all that other connectedness you
Mm.
felt suddenly just evaporates around you.
And where do I find myself now that everything seems to be pulled away from me, except for these little memories?
As you find yourself back kind of in your own body staring down at this box, the lights in the room have begun to dim and continue to dim as you pull out of the box itself inside those nebulas and those stars begin to fade, and everything in the box turns a sinister blue
Mm.
as it casts a blue light across this room as those torches and all of the light and all of the color you saw before, as almost as if everything's becoming monochromatic, begins to fade.
So this is now where I will be casting shield, as I know the
Yeah.
darkness is coming, and so are these beasts of the shadow, these shades, if you will. Um, and I'm ready. I'm ready to take them on in order to get this box back to the Infinite City. That I don't know how, because I don't know the exit door here, but we will find one.
No one does. We'll figure it out.
Yeah.
Uh,
Yeah, so I've got this like sheen, this like blue sheen over my body, and my axe in hand. As the lights are fading, I look to the door, ready for shadow wolves or a shadow servant.
yeah, absolutely. You look to that door, and the shadow servant and the wolves have returned, but they haven't entered the room yet. They're still stopped at the precipice of this door frame, looking intently at you, eyes following you, like one of those paintings, like that. No matter where you go, it's always looking
Sure.
at you. Those wolves' eyes just never breaking contact as their bodies sway, just waiting in their low growls
Sure.
as they just look at you.
I slowly and cautiously, axe in hand, box in the other, walk toward the threshold of this door, I'm gonna see if I can sense their kind of air about me. Is this a stare of as soon as he breaks this threshold, we're gonna kill him, or is this the stare of he controls the box?
Roll me a d20.
Hey,
Yeah.
As a 15.
Okay, 15 is success. You get the distinct sense that they are not your friends.
Okay.
That you don't hold any control over them. They are waiting for something.
I stare at them and I say, I, Durian Greyhawk, the battle bard, in possession of the heart of a dying world. And I hold out the box and I say, I am your master. I am the master of this house, and you will step aside.
As you say this,
May or may not work.
As you say this, the manservant, the wolves, sink into the floor as shadows and disappear.
Cool.
And it's at this moment, from behind you, in what you thought was an empty room, you hear the distinct slow clap of an individual who steps his way out of the shadow. You turn to look at him.
Absolutely. I do the heroic like look over the shoulder, and I'm like, things are about to get messy. And I turn and I present myself full on towards this person.
Well, well, well. I didn't think you were gonna make it. But it seems you had more in you than I thought. As a rat-like creature that you know as Rascally Rick steps out of the shadows, just clapping, congratulating you for grabbing this box. I didn't think you had it in you. I'm not gonna lie. I thought you was gonna die.
I see. So I was sent to this world as your distraction.
Well, I wouldn't. No, nothing like that. You see, well, you were the right man for the job. The box is important. So now that our deal's done, maybe you just hand it over and we can all go on our way.
This is a frustrating moment for him. He's thrown him into this thing. He's had the upper hand this whole time, and now he's just standing in this room. I walk over to him and I hold out the box and I go, "Oh, do you mean this little thing?"
That's the one.
Be a shame if I and I juggle it to
Oh. Easy there. Let's not do anything that we're both gonna regret, okay?
Rick, tell me something. What is it a wee little rat man like you would want from such a powerful artifact? It's something that needs to be examined and protected, not just thrown into your collection of things.
Oh, I don't intend to collect it. I'm going to use it for its true purpose. So are you going to give it to me or not?
I would like to compel truth on him. Because you know what? I want to know more. This is my thing here. Compel truth. Your eyes glow with a blue flames as you lock your eyes onto a nearby creature and grip their mind. Depending on what I roll, I will let you know what the outcome's going to be. So,
okay. Yeah. Tell that truth.
Hell yeah. So with a 9, a 9 is a tough choice, which means the target is compelled to answer one question truthfully. So as my eyes glance at him, they light in this blue flame as I connect to his mind, and I say, "What is its true purpose?
And as Rick tries to fight telling you the answer to this, its true purpose is to resurrect my lord, the Shadow King.
Oh, fuck. Shit. With that knowledge, I will hold out my axe towards him and I will say, "This is not for you, my friend." And I will begin to back towards the door.
Rick stares at you for a moment and doesn't make an immediate approach to you. He just, now that this truth has been revealed, it's like the floodgates are open. You think this was easy? You think it was easy putting the sword in the tower? You think it was easy waiting for some chump to come in and help me get this box?
Ooh. I think my anger is going to get the better of me. I think knowing the things that he's done and what he's trying to do, I don't quite know what the Shadow King is yet, but I know it's bad. I look up at Rick, my eyes now filled with fury, and I say, "Our contract is broken," and I'm going to attack him.
All right. Go for it.
All right, that's a 12, so I'm just going to swing at him with my axe, my lute axe.
Okay, yeah, with the 12, that is a success. You're gonna hit him, you're gonna slice him. And as you do, you notice that as you slice through the skin, this shadowy mist and that same kind of bluish purple that you saw before in the shadow creatures shines out from under the skin as you slice him, and he hops back. You think that you're gonna get out of here? You think that you can hide from the Shadow King?
You're already bonded to him and you don't even know it.
As he looks decidedly at your sword.
Oh, fuck, dude. You are killing me right now.
Yeah!
I look down at the sword at my hilt. Excuse me. The sword at my hip. The pommel. What's happening with the pommel?
That pommel has a very similar energy, that blue and purple lightning, and it's not, that sword has changed just a bit. And actually you notice that where that sword has made contact with your body, if you were to pull up your shirt slightly, that some of that blue and purple is now veined into your own flesh, like a necrosis almost.
Right. I am going to immediately grab it and try to toss it away. Just throw it away.
Roll me a d20.
That is a 5.
Okay. As a failure,
That is a failure.
You throw that sword away, and you throw it. Where do you throw it? How far out the door? Where are you throwing it at?
I'm not trying to throw it at anything. I want to get it off my person. I feel this is a similar sensation to when my shadow was crawling up my body earlier, and so I just want to get it away from me. If that makes sense.
Yeah, absolutely. And you feel a similar sensation to when your shadow was kind of trying to take over you as well. That coolness kind of waves over you, and you throw this sword, and as you throw it, it's like you blink, and it disappears from your sight and reappears right on your hip.
Cursed item. I, knowing my fate here, that this won't take long to be taken by the shade, I look at Rick and I say, "This isn't over, Rick. We have business, you and I." And I'm gonna run out the door. I feel like I gotta get out of the Shadow Castle.
Yeah, you run out the door, and as you do, if you were to glance over your shoulder, you would see that Rick's skin starts to melt off as if it's a liquid. And out of that body steps a shadow creature, tall legs on all fours, Although this time still kind of in the semblance of a rat with a long snout with sharp teeth and yellow eyes. He fills the room. He's huge as he kind of just like steps out of the back of his skin like a tarantula malting, and he just starts running after you down that hallway.
This door that I originally came from is like the cellar underneath the kitchen, essentially.
Yeah.
So I know that I have to get through there and get up a ladder into the kitchen.
Yeah, absolutely. And you've got that box in tow, and you flip open the door, and you would expect to be chased by the rest of these shadow creatures, but there's no other creatures involved. You just see Rick behind you, and as you make your way through this castle, sprinting at full speed, he's popping up out of that cellar as well to the ceiling now, and just like sticking his shadowy feet into the ceiling, just clawing at the ceiling, sticking those pointed legs into the stone of this structure, and he's actually going to dive at you.
Okay.
But he's not diving at you. He's not trying to attack you. He's trying to get the box. So he's going to try to get that box with a 15. He's able to get a shadow claw transforming into a hand onto that box with you. So now you both have a grip on this box.
Okay. So I think I want to MMA style, like flip my legs up onto his arm, like trying to get like an armbar situation in order to kind of rip it out of his hand. That's what I'm going to do at this moment.
Okay, yeah, roll to see how that goes.
A natural 1.
Oh,
A
no.
catastrophe. Oh no. Oh no.
Oh no. Rick lifts you up as you're hanging on his leg, lifting you up into above the ground, and still holding onto that box, as well as going to slam you down into the ground. I believe that'll deal a point of damage as he because of that catastrophe. You're just going to take that damage as he's going to smash you into the ground. And now he has the box for himself in his hand.
I do have my shield. I did cast that shield very quickly.
You did. Your shield takes a hit, just the 1 point of damage to the shield.
Okay.
He's going to slam you down, but you're losing the box.
Gotcha.
He's got the box in his hand, and now that he's got the box, he actually shrinks back down into a shadowy Rick form now, in his shape. Not bringing the skin back just yet, but getting the box in hand, not really feeling threatened to try to attack you anymore. This
is perfect.
I can't lose this box. Is he trying to run away, or he's just like standing victoriously?
Oh no, he's standing here with this box in his hands. I can't believe you're such a sucker, and it was so easy to get from you, the battle bard, or like the battle chump.
Well, they do call me the battle bard for a reason. I strum my lute axe as I stand, and I'm gonna try to lop off one of his arms, and I'm gonna do a wild attack on him.
Yeah, go for it.
Right. 16. That is double damage. So instead of 2, I will be dealing 4 damage to him.
That is a big hit on Rick here, as you do definitely lop off an arm that's holding that box, and the arm falls to the ground and just kind of evaporates into shadow, but the box tumbles towards you at your feet now, as Rick is just writhing in pain from that attack.
I'm gonna scoop up the box, and I'm just going to like cop kick him and head the other direction. I'm not trying to deal any damage. I just want to get away. Again, I feel like I'm cursed. I want to get out of here as quickly as possible.
As you turn around, as you kick him, he fades into the shadow, and you turn around. He's right in front of you. You're not going anywhere. You're gonna give me that box. just like you gave me the vessel.
The vessel? What do
That's
you
right. My Shadow Lord will be resurrected very soon. And we needed the flesh of a daywalker. Just so happened you delivered us the perfect specimen.
mean? Mac?
That's right.
You son of a bitch. I'm gonna. You know what? Reckless attack number 2. Strum my loot axe lights in this energy once again. I am furious and I'm gonna take a swing.
Yeah, I'll do it.
That is an 18.
18 for damage. He is looking so rough right now. Just absolutely, as you're lopping off parts of this shadow that kind of explode, but out of his chest just rips another set of arms, almost of claws that come out, and almost spider-like now. He's arms coming out everywhere as he's now jumped onto the side of the wall, and he's jumping around everywhere trying to avoid your attacks. And he's actually going to dive at that box again with a tough choice. Ooh, man.
Yeah.
As he's coming in, are you readying an attack?
Oh, wait, tough choice.
He's got a tough choice to make.
I have counterattack. So what counterattack does, if an enemy rolls a tough choice or worse on a basic attack, I can parry their attack and take no damage.
As he dives further, you're able to parry. What's it look like as you kind of dodge this advance?
As he is lunging towards me, I wrap my axe around like my shoulder blade behind me as his claw kind of like scrapes down the chords of my my lute, and you hear this like screeching guitar sound, and I roll out the other way.
Perfect. And as he gets back up, kind of diving past you, skittering on the floor, all these legs now. And he's got his legs like a spider, but now his shadow body kind of inverts the torso part, inverts itself and flips. So he's now upside down with these shadow legs looking at you, all like they're broken backwards the wrong way.
This isn't over. That's gonna be my box.
Not if I have anything to say about it. One more strike, one more reckless wild attack. Here we go. Okay, 15. So again, four more damage.
4 more damage with that final strum on your axe. Rick's body just evaporates into just these particles of not quite light. They're more dust, shadowy in nature, and they have that haze of that blue and purple energy as it. But somewhere, as the shadow explodes, you hear,
This isn't over yet.
just kind of echoing through this chamber. As for now, Rick seems to be nowhere.
Superhero pose, getting my breath. Yeah. Like kneeling at the ground, axe outstretched. Strap it to my back and stand up and look at the box. And I'm imagining that this curse, this shadow, is getting more painful. So I'm going to lift up my shirt and see what's going on with that.
Yeah, absolutely. You lift up your shirt, and it hasn't spread too far up your body yet. You haven't had this item for a terribly long time, but it is kind of, it's where it was touching you on the side. And you even notice some in your, as you start to look in your fingertips where you've held the sword, now have small veins of this crackling blue and purple energy, just so slightly under the skin. But on the hip, it's become a little bit more prominent, a very like varicose vein, like as it kind of travels up onto your stomach and down onto your hip just a bit. And it's got that energy, and like you said, it's painful as you touch it. And before, as you threw the sword, it came right back, and you're realizing that this item is going to be a little harder to get rid of than you first anticipated.
Sure.
What seemed like a good thing is now a real bad thing.
Oh shit. Okay. Something is still drawing me, like the One Ring almost. It's a powerful artifact, and I feel like it has answers. You know, I left it too soon in order to protect it and keep it as my own. And now, looking back at the box, I'm thinking to myself, perhaps it knows the cure. Perhaps I can save this dying world. Perhaps the key. Something about the key. And I don't know if I'm going to walk. These are my
Okay.
thoughts. I'm going to walk for now, but this is in the back of my mind drawing me. Open the box. It can cure you. It can stop this world from dying. The key has something to do with bringing the realms back together. Like, this is where my head is at. And I think it's because I've looked in the box.
Absolutely. And even though you can't remember all of the specifics, you definitely remember that feeling of knowing everything. You know, it's like a magic mushroom trip. You are
Sure.
connected to everything. It's a part of you and you're a part of it. You can remember that feeling, but you couldn't quite hang on
Hmm.
to the particulars. So, but as you're leaving the shadow castle, you find yourself again in those woods where those twisted, shadowy trees, dead things, all kind of sway in the wind, eerily silent as you crunch on dead leaves and putrid ground.
I examined them once before. These trees seem to grow from these bodies, for lack of a better word. And now they're swaying in the wind, and I have this eerie feeling that they are watching me. And I don't know if this is the shadow talking, or the box, or if it's real. So as I approach one of these trees, I'd like to place my hand on the trunk and see if I can get a sense of its intention.
Roll a d20.
Nope, nat one. Oh, changing dice.
Natural one. Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
definitely. Okay, yeah. You don't get a sense of the intention of this tree. It's a separate entity. You can't reach inside of it or discern anything about it, but you do feel something as you put your hand to this tree. Boom, 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 boom. What feels to you like a heartbeat.
That's impossible. This is... Hello? Is someone there? Are you alive?
And as you listen, on the wind almost, it's subtle, it's faint, it's almost like the wind itself, but you begin to hear the sound of a whisper. We are all here. As the wind whips through and you look up and you notice those branches swaying just a little bit more intentionally.
Oh God. I couldn't sense what their true intention was. So, evil, good, I don't know. But
You do not.
I can't stand the fact that someone could be stuck here, tortured and like living but lifeless, in a lifeless shell. I think the pull is too strong now. I have to open the box again. I have to know the answer. This is a box of answers.
This is a box of answers.
Yeah, so
You're welcome, future DMs.
I don't know. So I kneel down and I say, "Hold on." I on both knees, I place the box gently down on the ground, and once again, I slowly lift the lid.
You feel that same wave again. The light has shifted from blue and is now this euphoria again. You're seeing stars being born, planets living and dying and spinning, and entire galaxies coming into existence. You're feeling the presence of every living being that has ever existed or ever will exist again. Once again, part of this network, connected, as if you are a synapse in a larger brain. And you begin to feel that wave of euphoria and knowledge and belonging once again, as you know, mentally you are connected to the universe.
I try to hone in on this realm, and then to the forest, and then to the edge of the forest, and then to the cluster of trees that I'm in, and then to look over myself kneeling in front of this box, zooming in, and then I want to rush into this tree.
Make me a D20 roll on this one.
Yeah, it's like Google Maps where you're just zooming
Yeah,
in,
yeah, you're
zooming
just pinch and zoom.
in.
Satellite image.
That is a 5, so that is a failure.
5 on a failure. You try to get into this tree, but it just seems to go beyond what you're capable of that zoom in. You can only seem to go so far, as if maybe even a protective barrier is stopping you from knowing what's exactly in this tree, as something mystical in nature, not a physical barrier necessarily, but just stopping you from entering. But you get close, and as you get entering, you can still hear that even more pronounced now of the heartbeat beating within this tree.
This force field, this or whatever it is, it's keeping me stationary. I can't go any further. It doesn't seem that I can gain this answer here.
Right.
So I turn my focus to the castle. Perhaps something there. It seems to be the heart of this realm. So maybe the answer is there.
Yeah, absolutely. Make me a D20 roll on that one. See what we can discern here.
Okay. That is an 8.
Okay. An 8, a tough choice. As you zoom in on the castle, you get 2 distinct connections that you're feeling here. You're feeling one about the building, the castle itself, about maybe its history or where it's from. But you're also picking up another distinct signature that you feel, even though you sliced him to bits into oblivion, somewhere the consciousness of Rascally Rick is existing within this castle as well, the shadows melding together.
Mm-hmm. I think my mission at the moment is the tree. I want to zoom in on Rick, and before I let that side of me take over, I let it go and go for the other answer.
Okay, yeah. As you get flashes, you let the feelings of Rick go. You get flashes of this castle. Once a normal looking building in a forest. Over time, but you see people moving in, living their lives in this castle, lords and ladies living there. but you see a dark day, and on the horizon, you see that orange orb from the infinite city on the horizon shining like a sun. And in that moment, it begins to crack just a little, and the light fades. And as the light shining on it no longer reaches this area, the time moves forward as the castle begins to crumble and become decrepit. A new owner moving in, a large figure in a flowing cloak, shadowed and veiled from your vision what he truly looks like. But you get the feeling that this is the Shadow King himself at some point, taking control of this land. And as he approaches and takes control of the castle, you look around and you see the land around you, dead bodies everywhere, almost planted like seeds as the trees begin to grow around you.
What terror is this? And almost in tears, watching these, tortured souls, these trees, this, left here for dead for as long as they or I could even imagine. I, if possible, once again, try to will myself out of the box and back into myself.
Yeah, go ahead and roll for that. See how easy that goes.
Okay, that's a 19.
19 easily. You've actually become accustomed to this at this point, and you know that feeling of pulling out of this box. And as you do this time, the light also begins to fade blue again, as if things are dulling around you. And it's not so much that the light of the box is dulling, it's more the fact that you are so connected to everything that everything seems so vibrant in your mind, and coming back to your limited perspective is just like looking through a foggy window, almost as if your vision is blurred and things are just dull as you sit on the ground in front of this box and tree.
Drained and exhausted and cursed and a little strung out, I place my hand back onto the tree and I look at the face, this mummified skeletal face that resides deep in the heart of this tree, and I say, I'm truly sorry.
You don't hear a response from the tree, but on the wind again, you hear almost a sigh of relief, as if this is the first time this creature has been acknowledged in who knows how long, years, decades, hundreds of years. Is just a sense of being acknowledged by another living being. Is you just see here that sigh of relief just kind of whiffed through the wind as you get a even in this dark place kind of a good feeling from that, a good vibe that you've made a connection here.
And I think I stand up, I gather the box, place it back in my bag, Ludac's back on the back one last time, and I acknowledge it, and I turn and I continue to walk away back into the forest once again, knowing in the back of my mind, if there is ever a way that I can make this right. I know I don't have the tools, the skills to do it now, but one day I will make this right. And I soldier on back into the forest, hoping to find a way out. And that's going to do it for this week's episode of Random Tables, ending on more of a solemn note this week. If you want to know where Drew is going to take Durian next, just tune in next week to find out. If you like what we're doing here at Part-Time Heroes, be sure to check out our other shows. You can also support us in a lot of different ways. You can become a patron. You can join our Discord and hang out with us. You can even get some really cool swag. I really appreciate you guys listening, and we will see you next time on another Random Table.